Prof, is intimacy and love the same thing?
I've been thinking about that question the whole day.
Yes.
And it's very confusing, I must say.
Yes, and most of us actually confuse it.
Yeah. Because intimacy here we mean...
physical love, physical.
Yeah.
Reading the Constitution.
So in medicine we say engaging in sexual activity.
Yes.
Okay.
And so is it the same as love?
Yes, because some people equate it to it.
Yeah.
Some people think that it is it.
Yeah. So I was thinking about some of the cases that I've met in the hospitals where someone comes, for example, pregnant and saying that, I thought this was love, but I now realize that it was not.
They say that in hospital?
Because I've been abandoned and I'm pregnant, for example, and the guy has run away. And when I'm asking the guy, so we have a pregnancy, a baby is coming, and he's saying, no, it was never serious.
You actually go to the effort of calling that person, the man.
Because sometimes you want to know, why can't you come, we sort this.
Okay.
And then it was never serious. I thought we were just having a good time, we were just joking. So I'm not ready for such.
Okay.
Yeah, so you wonder then, was there love in the first place? Or sexual intimacy is something different? And so when you meet people and you're thinking you're in love, you should be clarifying maybe.
Yes.
That is this love, or we are interested in having...
This is just intimacy. It's a passing cloud.
Yeah.
Or a burst of enjoyment.
Yeah.
I think you should clarify, and we're always saying here on the show, Prof, that don't be afraid to ask the hard questions.
Yep.
Unfortunately, many of us don't ask the hard questions. And then sometimes we ask the hard question, and then we fall in love and find ourselves in marriage. But then the love has faded away. The intimacy needs to be there.
Maybe there was never love.
At the first place.
Yeah. You see,
Wow.
we are animals.
Yeah.
And then we are humans. And the animal bit of it is that hormones drive us sometimes.
And feeling?
You've seen a cock running after a hen?
Yes.
That's hormone in work. Or
a dog.
a dog,
Yeah. A cat.
a cat.
Oh gosh, those ones are noisy.
Yeah.
Cats are very noisy.
There is a hormone
Yeah.
that pushes you to do things. And it can push you to do things even before you think about it.
Yeah.
And so the easier way to say it is, instead of saying I'm being pushed by hormones, you say I love you.
Wow. Because that's how you feel at the moment.
Yeah, because there is no other way of explaining it.
That the dopamine feeling
Yeah,
is what is making you say that.
there is dopamine, oxytocin. There are many hormones that push people. The testosterone that men have.
Why not say I like you? Why not why I love you?
No, but if they tell you they like you, it means the Constitution cannot be read. It's just liking. It's not anything deep.
Prof, you've brought us a question that I would like to ask many a times because of these many hormones from dopamine, oxytocin, everything that is coming to play. Do you feel like many a times we say the word I love you back, or return it back because of obligation or because someone has said it, but we don't mean it?
Sometimes we say it to confuse others.
What do you mean by to confuse others? The other person?
Yeah.
Okay.
If the hormones are driving you, when you say I love you, people get confused and then
they get happy.
They fall in the trap.
Okay.
And then the hormones can do their work.
Oh.
I've been wondering, for example, you have cases, and this is very common, where two people are sexual and in the heat of the moment, they're thinking about other people.
Yes, we've heard about that.
Yeah.
Karigo, you're having an aha moment.
No, I'm not.
The way he was saying. even Prof looked at first. He looks at you like, hey, are you having an aha moment?
That's just why you needing me. Why you
I love you.
No, I'm just like, yeah, that's true. I mean, I've ever experienced that personally. I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so do you then say that you love the other person you're thinking about, or this one?
You see, then that's the thing.
Infatuated.
Last.
Mm-hmm.
Last. Last.
So she's thinking of Alejandro and she was with you, Prof. That's what
Yeah.
you're trying to say.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Deep to Copamoza, but
But
I'm
it's
just thinking
of Alejandro.
You are
I'm
imagining,
imagining this is Alejandro.
yeah, that the guy in front of you is Alejandro.
Yeah.
Yes.
I even see.
But you know it is not Alejandro. Uko na Kemani. Kemani wa Matangi.
Be careful, Kimani wa Matangi.
No, it's not it's a name. I'm just giving an example.
Those are the sentiments of the Duchess of Ikolomani.
Okay,
and not
Kimani wa
SpiceFM
Ikolomani.
or Karigo Gatere.
But you know, so the thing is,
Yeah. No, I'm being honest. I've never
were
experienced
these
that.
two people in love or not?
Ah.
Or this person is in love with the other person they are thinking about?
Prof, I think they could be in love. There's a
With who?
theory. It could be like Karigo is in love, let's say with Alex, but thinking of Alejandro when they're together. They could, because many a times it could be coming from a place of infatuation, or maybe she watched a movie, or maybe she's working in the office and Alejandro is always passing in Alejandro is nice to her in the office. Alejandro bought her lunch. Alejandro is there. But now Alex in the house, who's supposed to be their husband, Alex is not paying attention. So sometimes I'm talking from a woman's perspective.
No, true.
Because that happens.
No, that's
from a woman's
true.
perspective, out of commitment, I know Alex is my husband. But now when Alex is not doing nothing, aliacha kufanya kile kitu 1974. He is just the father of our children. We serve him, we wash his hands.
So you're having an
So
intimate moment
It is a ritual.
with Alex
Alex, my husband.
physically and with Alejandro
And I am
virtually.
imagining.
So when I'm with Alex, my husband, I'm busy thinking about
About Alejandro.
Alejandro. I'm like,
Because Alejandro in the
So
office.
who are you actually intimate with at that moment?
Alex, my husband.
But
Does it? Okay, wait. One question. Have I been intimate with Alejandro of the
Never,
office?
never. Even you can't,
But-
you can't
yeah.
even reach Alejandro.
Yeah, but when I am with Alex, because of the way Alejandro has been treating me and making me feel good, I'm just there. I'm just thinking. "Okay,
so
see,
whom
this
are
is
you in
Ale-"
love with?
Does it have to be love?
Does it? Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the question of the day. Are the two the same?
No.
So I think there are 3 levels actually of intimacy.
Yes.
Okay, tell us.
There is the physical intimacy,
Yes.
physical bodies coming together.
Yes.
It's like mechanical, like the tire of a wheel on a road.
The
It's
chemistry
just
that comes with-
mechanical. No,
Okay.
nothing.
That,
Chemistry.
okay,
So I
physical.
think that's first level
Okay.
of intimacy, where it is.
Physical.
It could be equated to use of toys. There is nothing between two people.
So
It's
it's
just
mechanical. It's
mechanical,
physical. then.
physical.
Okay.
Wow.
And I think that's the first level of intimacy. But then the next level is psychological, mental, where you're also thinking about the person. And so
You're into it.
there is some level of
Desire.
not emotional but psychological engagement. You are thinking rationally.
Should it be two-way or just if it's one way?
It could be two-way.
Eh.
Both of you are thinking of each other rationally.
Yes.
You're rationalizing and saying, he's a good guy. Maybe he has a car, he treats me well, or a good lady, or someone nice to be seen around with. So that is rationalizing.
Yes.
And I think that's the
That's the
second.
psychological part of it.
Yeah, the second level.
Okay. Of the physical,
But
of
I
the
think
intimacy.
there is a third level, which is what I would call the soul and the spirit, which is deep.
Yeah.
That's the love.
That, I think, is another level.
Not love.
Prof
But
is not going to
not
ask love. Ataki kusikia story.
Where?
No, it's another level of intimacy.
Yes.
So we've not
We are
about
not yet talking about love.
Yes. We're talking about intimacy here.
Yeah.
Where?
So you're
And
either
that-
mechanical,
that
psychological, or spirit,
soul and
Soul
spirit.
and
Soul and
twined.
spirit.
Yeah.
I don't want to use emotional because
Soul entwined.
No, soul and spirit.
Okay. So
You're
just
meeting at a
thinking.
spiritual level.
She's thinking about soul ties. We've been talking about soul ties of late.
So like when you say you're connecting on a spiritual level, does it
Yeah.
mean like if he texts me and I wanted to text him, it's like we were thinking about each other? Like
There
that?
is something you can't explain.
I'm just trying to.
And I think when people are at that level,
Yeah, it's unexplainable.
it's unexplainable.
I agree.
You've had people who die when their partners die.
Yeah.
Maybe they are connected at the soul level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a very deep level.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how many people reach that level.
Not many.
Not many.
Yes.
So a lot of people are at the physical, mechanical level.
Okay.
The
Where
first one.
Yeah.
That one of
That's why there are a lot of casual
your
relationships.
partner is like a toy.
Where?
Things need to be serviced.
Yeah.
Engines need to be started.
Yeah.
And things need to be cleaned up and things need to be released. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
That's crazy. How can your partner be on just that
It is
level?
very- it's
and
very
people get
possible.
married and they say they love each other.
Because some things faded away, and that's why he said we haven't reached the love part. But think about it. When we're giving the example of Alejandro and Alex, and this is just not only for women. A man could be at home. He's actually there present, being intimate with the wife, but thinking of Nyambura,
Yeah.
thinking of Akini. He's not there, or even thinking, not even of the lady he saw in a movie,
Yeah.
and not the partner who is there. So it's mechanical.
So that it reaches a certain point, with time our bodies also tend to respond to our level of thinking. So there are people who will have like erection failure with one partner and not with the other,
Okay.
because the physical can no longer happen, because the body wants to connect to the soul and to the psychology.
Also,
So the body refuses.
the body has refused stage 1,
Yeah.
so
And
you cannot get to stage 2 or stage 3.
You can't.
Yeah.
And you can't do it.
And there's nothing wrong with this
There are
man.
ladies who will not get lubrication.
Yes, but with someone else, they will be
They
different.
will get, because they are unable to reach beyond. They can't go beyond the physical level at that point.
Could it be they have done the physical and now they're done and dusted with it? So
And
they want more?
There is nothing left.
Uh-huh.
And so they are really connecting with the right person, because now there is another level where, another age or another level where you want to go deeper.
Yeah.
And you realize this is not the person that I can go deep with.
Okay.
Yeah. And so things fail. So there are a lot of people whose sexuality are failing because that shallow level has failed. The level of physical has
The
failed.
mechanical, physical as
Yeah,
well.
the body
Is
has
that-
refused.
Is this why we have very many people having extra marital affairs?
I knew she would ask that.
No, for real. We keep saying Nairobi's one big bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Is this why?
It's not
Nairobi
only
is
I think
one
it's
big bedroom.
I think Kenya is.
I think Africa.
If you're just joining in, we are the adults in the room. We're talking to Prof. Joachim. He's the Vice Chancellor, Amref International University, and a sexual medicine specialist. He's also a friend of the show, and if you are new, he's one of those people. A Friday or two, you might find him with us having conversations that many of us are very scared to voice out. Today we're talking about, is intimacy and love the same thing? And he talked about the 3 levels of intimacy. I want you to soul search as we play this song. Where are you? Uko level 1, mechanical, physical, or are you in this psychological phase,
I'm a
or spiritual,
spiritual
or are you
soul.
nowhere?
Ooh.
Because if we're honest, some of you at Amuna class, hamuko.
Kweli.
It's the adults in the room on 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
And we're talking to Professor Joachim. And today's conversation is about, is intimacy and love the same thing? Before we went on the break, Kariga had asked a question.
Yeah.
But I had to take that breather. And she was asking, Prof, based on what you have said, that sometimes people in relationships, they find themselves disconnecting and not feeling like they can continue from the mechanical and physical level, and now they just disengage. And Karigo asked, is that the reason why we are having a lot of cases of infidelity, cheating, or people even just stepping out from relationships and marriages?
Yeah. So, it's very interesting because relationships have a cycle.
Okay.
They have a cycle. They go through phases. And the first phase is strongly animal, driven by hormones.
You've really pushed this animal thing.
Yeah. You remember when you were young and you wanted to elope?
Yeah. That's true.
I didn't want to look, but I get the feeling that you're saying.
You like, you don't care.
You don't care.
Yeah.
Your
You're
mom
told-
can go to hell.
Yes, I remember I was being told, no, unaharakisha hii harusi. You people don't love me. You don't understand me.
It's true.
That is the hormones. That's the
Yeah.
animal bit of us.
Yes.
Because you stop reasoning, you say you can die for someone, yeah?
Yeah, you can't even be advised.
And you can actually die. People commit suicide.
Yeah, we've seen
If
that.
people say you can't continue with this person, there is that phase of a relationship which is hormone driven. And unfortunately for most people, it is like 2 years to 3-4 years.
Okay.
Remember, that time you're not reasoning, you're just being pushed like an animal
By
to
this
connect,
hormone.
yeah, and to be intimate. But thereafter, the hormones go down. Then reality starts to sink.
You're like, kumbe this girl is this big. Kumbe huyu anakuanga mkonda hivi.
You start realizing that actually, this is not an angel, it's a person.
Yeah.
And it's just like any other person. And you start actually seeing better people. Yeah?
Yeah, that
Because
happened.
now reality has sunk, you're back to life.
Wow.
And if you had run away from home, you go back and say, I'm sorry.
That's why we see those of cohabiting running away after some time.
Yeah, because now reality is back.
Yes.
Now, there are people who, despite that hormonal push, they actually had some level of love. And that is now what starts to keep them going. They also possibly have some relationship skills, and then they keep going now and they build a real relationship thereafter, after the hormone, the animal
The animal phase is over.
phase is over.
So if you had that friendship, that relationship, or you were relatable to each other, you might survive the animal's phase
Yeah.
after. But if you
And
don't
this
have-
is why it is good to prolong your friendship and they call it what?
courtship.
The courtship period.
But Prof, sometimes people can really overdate. Like I'm not mentioning names. Don't carry go. There are people who've dated for 7 years, 11 years. What are you doing?
Like,
a medical course.
Yeah, like I know a couple.
Is it a degree? 4 years.
I know a couple.
Well,
I know a couple who've been dating for 12 years, and because they're in the church, they're not intimate together. They're not physically intimate. And I'm always looking at them and I'm like,
12 years.
I swear. But we wanna kama ni uongo. But I usually sometimes think,
why are you judging people?
I'm not judging.
Judging.
I'm
She
just
just said
giving
her
my opinion.
That's hers. She just shared with me.
Yeah. So I sometimes I wonder now when they get married on their honeymoon, what if they're not physically compatible? Is there anything like that?
You want them to test drive this vehicle before?
You see,
Yeah.
it's like,
Important.
have you ever wondered when a baby is born, how they so easily suckle the breasts of the mother?
Yes.
Some things are so natural.
Instinct.
Okay.
Some things are so natural. In fact, nobody teaches you how to suckle.
True.
Yes.
They just put your mouth there and you're suckling.
Somehow the baby will know what to do.
Yeah.
It's instinctual.
And sex is like that. So no need to test drive. Of course, you need to perfect the
Have
art.
you had?
So
Please repeat that. Repeat that part. No need to. I want people
then
to
he was
listen.
continuing and saying, "Luckily, you have to perfect the art,
With time,
but
you will-
without test driving."
you are born
Yes.
with the basics.
So what's this thing of compatibility? Sexual compatibility? That's not a thing? Because I've had women say, he just gets me. I'm like, what is that? What do you mean he just gets you?
It means they easily gel, or so maybe they were made for each other.
Could it be the psychological stage you were
And
talking
he's a
about?
married man.
I knew she was going somewhere with this question. I just knew it. Talk. Let me pick it up from where she was saying. When someone, either a man or a woman, would say,
Yeah.
she or he easily gets me, or we're in tune, we're compatible. Could we say that is stage 2? Or is that stage 3 of what you're calling intimacy? Remember we talked about the physical.
Yeah. It
Not
could,
the psychological, the getting. Is it psychological? Is it the spirit part?
yeah. So it could be beyond the physical.
Okay.
Yeah. So the physical, again, the hormone drive, the animal bit, you can do it.
Yeah.
But with time it goes.
Also that.
it goes. And that is why with time people fail. But if you are actually going deeper, you've gone deeper beyond that, maybe that's what you're saying. People
He gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gets me.
Yeah. Maybe then things start to happen naturally, because at the spiritual level, it's things you can't explain. It's just working for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just easy.
Yeah.
At the spiritual level, could we say that now love is also is involved in this?
Yeah. So maybe we should talk about love.
Yeah, let's talk about
Please,
love. You told us intimacy is
because-
3 levels.
Yeah.
So let's talk about love. How
Yeah.
many levels does it have, in your opinion?
Or what is love?
Prof.
Yeah.
Or what is love?
I think love is so natural. It is the desire to be good to someone and to give them happiness,
Wow. That's deep.
irrespective.
Of the intimacy.
Remember, let's use a wrong example, because
Yes.
child and mom or child and parent, there are things you can't do.
Yes.
But look at how a mother protects their child and does everything to them.
It's like you shield them.
You shield them,
Yeah.
they will pee on you, they will
Yes.
spit on you,
I'm telling
they
you.
will run away from you,
You'll
Sometimes they'll not listen.
they will not
You'll
listen.
pull their mucus.
Yes,
Yuck.
but you just want to do it.
Yes.
And there is no like payback.
You're not
expecting anything in
Okay.
return. You just care for the person. You feel like, I have to do it. Now that is love. You know, I had a meeting with some ladies, and it was a chama. You know, sometimes I go for chamas,
Oh, yeah?
women's chamas.
As a speaker, I'm as a guest.
As a speaker.
No, I'm asking Prof. Are you Prof?
Lazima ni speaker. Ndio aenda waambie venye watadu. Ama?
Yeah,
You see?
they invite me.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Hope they pay you.
Well,
Okay. Sorry for another day.
another day. But then in this meeting, when we were talking about really how do you show love, someone said, I do everything for him, including washing his.
Andy's.
And
Yes.
undergarments.
Yeah.
And some were up in arms and saying, no. So I said, okay, let's see how many of you actually do that. And half of them raised their hands.
Yeah.
And so they started calling each other, oh, you underwear washers.
Women are nasty.
Sana.
Yeah?
I know I would say that.
She would say something like
Nyinyi watu wa kuosha underwear. Give us your opinion.
But
there is nothing wrong with washing underwear if you
Kwani
love
his hands-
someone.
Kwani his hands are broken?
No, if I love you, I'll wash for you.
and you know, some are doing everything
Yeah.
that you can imagine about. Others say they wait for this guy to come home, whatever time. They
warm.
sit with him, they warm food, they make sure they have eaten. Yeah? And many, many other things.
That
Maybe
just
you
can
know
you-
what people do.
Can you do that now?
No, I can't. I used to. I'm not gonna let. I used to.
I
I'm
know.
one of those women. I have waited. I have baked. In fact, I learned how to bake bread. In fact, I used to bake bread. I used to put on the table, do whatever is necessary. Wait till you just wait till you 3 a.m., 2 a.m. Then you sent a message at 2:50. Babe, I'm running late, and it's 2:50. You want to? So what time will you come back? If he's running late at 2:50, Niko tamasha, babe. 2:50, I'm running late. Hey.
So can you do it now?
No, I'm sorry, I can't. I will sleep. I've subbed time, Doc. Me, I'll sleep. If you're joining the conversation, we are the adults in the room. We're talking to Prof. Joachim, the Vice Chancellor of Amref International University and a sexual medicine specialist. And the conversation we're having today is intimacy and love. Is it the same thing? I'd like you to opine on this conversation through our social media handles, SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We also have a WhatsApp line, 0110288 if you have a question or a query, just shoot it like that. And of course, you know the number. I see your calls. 0719-012-600 is the number to call. We are the adults in the room.
It's the adults in the room. The best friends you never knew you needed. On 94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi.
And the conversation is intimacy and love. I see your calls, my darling. Let's allow Prof just to finish what he was talking about. Then I'll be picking up your calls and sampling your views. Prof, before we started all this laughter, you were at a place when you said you went to a chama and ladies were talking about love and what it is and what other people. Please proceed from there.
Yeah. So I was just saying, so, if you take the child example,
yes,
you're trying to do everything to make this person happy.
Yeah.
And not expecting anything in return, but you get satisfaction out of that. It shows you love them.
Yes.
Let me give you another extreme example. I visited Malawi. There is a community in Malawi, I don't remember what it is called.
Mm-hmm.
And when these people, they say, never allow your man to go to this community. And I asked why. They want me, don't dare go there. And I'm told the ladies, actually, I think they are very strong. They carry the man to the bathroom. They wash him. Yeah.
Dog Swiss make.
And they packer him and everything.
They
wash their
pamper.
men.
Yes. They pamper.
Remember that baby was telling Kenyans to wash their men?
There's a lady.
Who was that?
There's a lady who was really decided to be an advocate on social media. She's an influencer. She told Kenyans how some of us, our marriages have failed. She really insulted us. I remember Karigo really made fun about it and told me, did you wash yours? Maybe that's why uko. This lady gave us advice, Prof.
She insulted
Kenya women. She did part 1, part 2, and she had a whole series. Then I told Karigo, I told her, this one will not even finish a year with this. And true to my words, she left Nigeria.
Yeah, her Nigerian man left her.
She was sent back home packing because there was an attitude, I saw it, and a lot of fakeness. There are those who can do it out of love, but I saw that fakeness of forcing issues.
That fakeness, I think that is very important.
Yes.
So remember, when you're caring for your baby, there's nothing fake about it.
Exactly.
So if you're doing it really sincerely,
you're doing it because you're getting money. I felt it was more beneficial
for her.
And it wasn't authentic.
Yeah. So if you're doing it with not expecting anything in return, and you're getting satisfaction out of that, and you're really caring for this person, you want them to be happy. I think that is an expression of love. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, we need to talk about, so where does love and intimacy then meet?
Yes.
Because you can actually...
Do they meet at stage 1 of physical, mechanical, psychological, or spiritual?
I tend to think these are the people who are soulmates. They meet at soul level and spirit level.
That's when you connect both intimacy and love.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the two are never the same, but I think there is a meeting point.
Prof, but I've had Kenyan men and women say they get their soulmates after marriage. What is that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We've had that many questions.
Yeah.
We've had DMs on it.
Yeah.
That how is it I'm getting my soulmate after marriage?
I'm in a marriage.
Meaning, let's start by this, you're already cheating in that relationship, but you found someone else who is better, who caters to your needs, who is into you, compatible, who you feel your spirit, soul connects than how you connect to the person in the house.
There are many people who say that I met the love of my life when I was married, or when I was in a relationship, or when I was courting this guy or this girl. And they can't explain it. Okay, definitely for a fact.
And you see, they really look in love.
And they genuinely, like we had that Ask the Adults today. A lady who is 61, married for 36 years. Husband has been with a mistress for 3 years. He doesn't want to divorce her, but they're in love with his mistress.
And she says she's seen them.
I'm like, I don't know what to do.
This man is really in love with this woman.
In my meetings with people, I hear this word complicated. I ask people, so are you married? They keep quiet. Are you single? They keep quiet. And they say, it's neither, it's complicated.
Situationships.
What you're describing is complicated.
Okay. It's one of
because
it's an MBA, married but available. It's an MBA.
Married but
it's an MBA.
Open relationship.
Yeah, they are married.
It's not open.
They are married, legally married.
Yeah.
But they are available.
It's not an open relationship
because the other person would not accept.
So those are the complicated situationships.
Yes.
So what you're describing is not love. I think it's complicated.
Okay. So they need to know that
sometimes when people have issues, it doesn't mean that if you're soulmates, you will not have times of disagreement.
You will.
can still disagree,
Yes.
but that disagreement brings you even closer. You solve it and you're happy. But when people are not at that soul level, it's easy to then get an escape route.
Or disengage.
Just remain married, but get someone outside to be
Cater for those needs.
more emotional too.
Okay. And that will confuse you to think that you have a soulmate.
Yeah.
But in reality, that was your escape route.
You are in a situation.
Situationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to talk about lust.
Last.
Yeah. What role does lust play between love and intimacy? Because you know, when I was researching about this conversation, I came a lot about lust. And what is lust and how does it look like?
Let's put it in a medical perspective.
Yes, please.
Lust is the hormonal drive. You know, the desire, imagination, inner force to have sex with someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all you want. You don't want love. You don't want connection. You don't want bonding. You just want sex. Nothing else.
You're being pushed. You find yourself being pushed. You want to have sex with someone.
Yeah.
You're lusting for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is a natural, nature. God has a way of making things happen. Many times before we really get into a relationship, you start to lust for someone.
That's a natural feeling.
There is a lot of that. It's hormone driven, and I think it brings people closer. Sometimes they lust for each other.
Then it ends.
When they get closer, they realize, oh, I can't. This one was not made for me.
Yes.
So it's a natural way of bringing people together. Some people have their boundaries, so they lust but not go
All the
The
way.
full
all
way.
the way. Others don't care.
We?
And so they
Married men.
they discover it is not
Why
the
are you
right
being
person.
judgmental? It happens to everyone.
Nairobi
Single,
married men.
Cuts across.
She said Nairobi is a bedroom, a big
It's
bedroom.
one big bedroom.
It's big.
So what do you mean?
I'll tell you during the break. Continue what she means.
Anyway, so last,
Yeah.
I think there is something natural about it, which pushes people to go into a conversation,
Yeah.
to get to know each other. And then when they realize that, something can happen, then they move to another level.
So lust is not physical. It's just an emotion. It's a
an
feeling.
emotion.
Yeah.
It's an emotional push.
Yeah.
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 Driven by your hormones.
By your hormones.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have boundaries, I
Yo.
don't want to judge because people have their own values.
Yeah.
You might find that lust makes you have what they call it, a one night what?
A one night stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before even knowing people. But you fulfilled the desire,
Yeah.
and sometimes then you realize you don't want to continue.
Because after the feeling has been fulfilled, you have questions.
You
and you're not-
realize there was nothing. It's just empty.
Okay, let me pick this call.
Okay.
Hello, Spice.
I've got a good question for the professor.
Go ahead, sir. Would you like to say your name or stay anonymous?
I'm Edward from Kisumu.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
What's the difference between love and infatuation?
Okay, thank you for that. Prof, what's the difference he's asking, Edward?
Lust and infatuation.
Yes.
I think infatuation is very similar to lust. It is that push, that initial push for you to start engaging. And you're driven naturally by some force. And I think it's nature's way of ensuring that we start to engage.
Yeah.
That's the one using the initial stage.
The initial
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're pushed, then you're supposed to start engaging and discover and explore people to find, are you compatible
Yeah.
before you move to the next level?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Spice.
Hello.
For you, sir?
I'm okay.
Would you like to share your name or stay anonymous?
I would like to say anonymous.
Go ahead. Prof is listening.
Okay. I would like to ask the professor this question.
He's listening.
I've had a couple of women, and now when we come together in that your intimacy. So
When you're reading the Constitution?
When I read the Constitution, I don't feel like I'm compatible with any, but they keep just following me. Hata ule wa last year bado ananifuata. Sasa hiyo ni gani tena?
Okay, thank you. So what is your question now that they keep following you?
My question is, what's happening with them now, but me, I'm not feeling anything about it.
Okay, disconnect. We'll get back to you. Karigo mwanaume ni kujichocha effort.
I'm telling you.
Anafuatwa.
Hata labda yeye ndio anawafuata.
Hapana, Karigo amesema ni swali yake. You had your questions. Let me pick about 3 calls so that we can answer because my deck is late.
Yes.
Hello.
Dashes.
Yes, are you saying your name? Can I say it or you want to stay anonymous? Maybe people could be listening.
No, go ahead and say it.
Okay, Barak, what is your question to Prof?
First of all, pass my regards to Prof.
He's here, he's listening.
Yeah, I've got this concern. There is this couple friend of mine. Due to distance, the intimate part of it is fading away seriously. And the woman was like, is there a remedy to bring it back?
Okay.
I asked Prof. Yeah.
Karigo, have you tabled it down?
Yes.
Question 2.
Yes.
Let's take one more, 3 as we go.
Yeah.
Hello, Spice.
Hello, SpiceFM.
How are you, my darling? Do you want to stay anonymous or share your name?
I'm Ibrahim from Kisumu.
Yes. What are your thoughts or a question to the Prof?
What I can say, I can say, almost 90% of families, rather, or couples which are living in this century, they naweza sema yani hawana ile upendo yenye mnaongelelea.
Feel that they don't have love in their relationships.
Yeah, they don't have that love in their relationship. That's why unapata somebody ana walk out of relationship ili kupata mtu at least they match, So I can just say
Oh, I lost that particular lady. 0719-012-600 is the number to call. When you call, please load in your airtime and
Since we
reduce the
didn't get
volume.
her question, we take her now.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
How are you?
I'm fine. Are you staying anonymous or can I call you by your name?
You can call me by name because it's sort of academic as well.
Okay, Edward, go ahead.
So, Prof, can one love two people differently? A man, rather.
Thank you for that question. It has been on our list. But thank you.
Yeah.
Prof, I told you we'll ask that question. At least someone
So
has
you
beat
take
us to
another
it.
one.
No, can
Since
you go?
that one we-
No, Prof has to answer.
So let's begin with the first one.
Yes, let's start by
The guy who's
Gentleman.
being followed by women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's had a couple of women,
Yeah.
several of them, but after he's involved with them, he always feels disengaged, that he's uninterested, but he's wondering why they keep following in. What does he have, or what is he oozing that these women keep following him, and him is already disengaged?
Be honest, Prof.
The issues of relationship are very complicated.
This one is situationships. There are many.
No, let me tell you, when there's a time I had a fundi working on my house. He belongs to a religious sect. He was married to 3 wives and he was looking for a 4th one. We just noted he was
The way he was
engaging in the site with another one.
Oh my God.
So I asked him, but how many are you going to have at the end of the day? And he said, It's not me.
It's them.
No, it's the spirit. There is a spirit of Samson in me.
He wants to conquer.
And no, he says women just come to me.
Wananikujia tu.
Yeah, they just follow me. Even me, I don't know why.
Oh, please. Is that possible?
So,
And but there are people who have more than 4 wives or 3 wives.
But Kwani, those
And
wives.
they already know and they are comfortable with it.
But he's the one who advanced the wives. The wives didn't know he existed.
But they know there's another one. and they're
but there
okay.
is also something, we call it in psychiatry, delusion of grandeur. You know, you can feel like I'm president and actually feel like one.
Yeah,
And you
we've
can
seen.
feel I'm a millionaire, even when you're not.
And you're at that time you're a Shilongya.
Shiliongea ma sent.
So before you say all women are following me, just be careful that you're not having delusions of grandeur.
That's a delusional man. I hope you heard.
Question number 2.
I don't want to dismiss him.
Because
But
he
you
might
should
be
just-
having the spirit of Samson.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think women are clever people.
Of course.
They don't just follow people.
Yeah.
They are very clever.
They want
are
something.
wise.
Yeah.
No, don't assume they're following you. Maybe you're making assumptions.
Wow.
They enjoy the act.
Do you
Maybe they-
think in a real world there is a man who women just follows?
No, they follow for something.
Maybe if there is something they're following you for,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe your act is interesting. They've heard about, because I've had women who, if you say, Alex,
Wait.
all of a sudden, Alex has done this and can do this. Alex does PE and does a marathon. Women start following so that
Really?
they can be part of the list in the marathoners. Karigo, that happens? She knows what I'm talking
Be a
about.
statistic.
Yes, but people who don't mean be statistics.
No, but there are
so
men.
that could be.
Yeah, there are men who generally they say the women go after them because they have good game. Is that possible?
I think there is something more to these things.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so
Me,
too.
I like the part where
Because-
Prof said, stop being delusional.
Yeah.
Let's come to the world,
Yeah.
the
Yes.
normal world.
Yes.
Is that the only thing that makes you start following a man?
No.
I have an objective, an agenda. Maybe it's beneficial. There's something those women are after.
Or maybe he's a good listener.
Maybe
he gives
nobody's
good
actually.
cuddles.
We don't know. maybe they are women. Maybe they are not.
I have question 2 so that I can pick the rest.
Question 2. The lady lacks intimacy because of the long-term distance relationship.
Yeah, long distance
relationship,
They are
yeah.
very difficult. And sometimes I tell people you need to be sure exactly what you want in life. I had a friend whose wife was in Canada and he was in Uganda.
Where?
And they met in a span of 2 years. They met twice for like a week. And after that, they started drifting apart. As we talk, they are not married now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I mean, can you actually have a sustainable relationship when you are not there?
When you're not intimate.
You're not intimate. You're not
Present.
there. You're
you're
not
not there
present.
actually. That's
Yeah.
you're just not
You're just not
there.
present.
It's difficult, and so people need to make a choice. There is what is possible, like people work in Nairobi and they meet over weekends, or people work for 2 weeks, they meet for a week.
Yeah.
You make
But
an
when you-
effort to
Yeah.
deliberately be present.
Meet. But when you're away for 6 months, then you meet for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
you're away for another 6 months. It's difficult, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the third question is, can a man love more than 2 women or 2 women at the same time? Because me, this is something I've had very many men say. Ones are the married ones.
That's why we were trying to define love.
Yeah.
Do you have the energy actually to make 2 people happy? You remember what we said?
But you see, this is how I see love. The love, there are different stages of love. The love
Maybe-
I'll give Alex and the love I'll give Barbara is not the same.
Remember we talked about love and intimacy
Unconditional.
being different.
Yes.
So can someone be intimate with more than one person?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it can be at a physical level.
Yes.
And
Another
you
one
don't care.
psychological.
Yeah.
Another one is you don't even know where it is.
But at a spiritual level,
Yeah.
you can't share.
So you can't have 2 soul ties.
it's ever possible.
You can't have 2
soulmates.
soulmates. Sorry, my
How
apologies.
now?
How?
How?
Why are you feeling the Messiah? No, let's be serious. Let me take you back to something when you were talking about long distance relationships, because I really do know many people who are in this predicament because of COVID. Some people have had to take jobs very far. How would one, I'll pick up your calls, my darlings. I see all of them. How would one build up on the intimacy, especially if they're in a long distance relationship? I like the fact that you gave the first option, which I'm sure they've had, where you need to space out. You cannot do those 6 months. Make time to be there and be present. How else can such a couple who might be listening build their intimacy if they're in a long distance relationship?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what people do, what I've seen people do. They talk on phone, they do video talks, they even, there are people who have intimate moments on video, things like that.
Yes.
Or just to keep it going.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. The question is, how long can it last?
And is this sustainable?
Is it sustainable?
Yes.
If you're going to be away for
a year.
I know people who have been away for 10 years, they come home like once a year, twice a year. Are you really married?
No.
Is it possible?
Nah, it's just on paper.
There are people who are still married and they don't say nah.
No, you're married,
you're
but
breaking
you're not,
their hearts.
You're married by commitment, but not by that intimacy, physical.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Okay. Hello, Spice.
Spice.
Are we calling you by your name or are we whispering it today and not saying it?
Let me remain anonymous today.
No problem. Go ahead. Prof is listening.
Okay, I want to ask this. What can you do vile daktari amesema kwamba kwa hiyo wakati mko kwenye kitendo
Tumnasoma katiba.
Yeah. Na unapata kwamba wewe unafikiria mtu mwingine yule mwingine. Sasa sio kama mfano mimi na mke wangu, mimi namwazia yule mtu mwingine. Ni nini mimi ninaweza fanya ili niwe mawazo yangu ikuje pale? Tena another question is this. Nimesema intimacy, love ni mambo mawili tofauti. Sasa in between relationship, courtship and marriage, hapa kuna katikati, hapa kuna ni katikati hapa kati ya intimacy and love. What is in between? And then yule jamaa aliyeuliza swali hata anajua kazi.
Asante. Now, Prof, you've gotten a question. Remember when I said that you laughed at me? In fact, you looked at me. You laughed when I told you Carigo, an example of a Carigo. There's Alex and there's Alejandro.
Yeah.
Now, this is the same question he's asking. He finds himself, when he's intimate with the partner, he's thinking about someone else. How can he get his thoughts out of there? And sometimes, some of the people we are thinking about are out of our reach. It could be a Denzel Washington. It could be the Duchess of Ikolmani. You might never meet her. Hata mimi najichocha kama ule mtu, but ile
you put yourself on the same lane with Denzel. Wow, how brave of you.
But you're getting what I'm saying. And this is a man. Prof says people are delusional. It's happening even here in the studio. So how would someone get themselves out? That's what he's asking. He would like to move forward and stop thinking of other people when he's intimate with a partner.
Yeah. So I think maybe we need to interrogate the status of the relationship.
Okay.
Maybe there is something not right. Maybe, people could be living together married, but they're really not in sync.
Yeah.
Maybe they're at a physical level, a bit of psychological, mental level, but they have not gone deeper. I would possibly think of relationship therapy, something.
Okay.
Find out what's going on. Are you guys okay?
Should they go together or should he go alone? Or should the person now, if it's a party, the man or woman, you do it alone or you go together?
We normally would start with one person and then the other separately before we do joint sessions.
For example, if just a follow-up question on that, and Alex finds out that Carigo is thinking about Alejandro, and I know someone will really feel bad about it, how would you want them to respond in the event they ever found out about this information?
They never talk about it.
So you should never say
Do
it.
you think someone would say, when you are at the heat of the moment, I was really imagining I'm doing it with whoever?
I will leave you if you join the conversation where the adults in the room, and we're talking to Prof. Jiwake, the Vice Chancellor of AmRef University. Today we're having a conversation about, is intimacy and love the same thing? I see your calls. When we come back after this break, we shall be sampling them. You can also send in your questions, your query on our WhatsApp line 01102888162, and of course, our social media handles, SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let me leave you with some Destiny's Child for cater to you. Are you catering to your spouse? Are you an underwear washer, or are you not? Do you bake bread? Are you that man who makes breakfast, or are you one of those people who you're the king and the queen of that jungle? If you're new to the conversation, we are the adults in the room. 35 minutes to the top of the hour. We're talking to Prof. And the conversation today is intimacy and love the same thing. Prof is the Vice Chancellor of AmRef International University, and also he is in charge of sexual medicine. He's a sexual medicine specialist. 0719012600 is the number to call. SpiceFM KE on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter is where we're opining on the conversation. Hello, Spice.
Hello.
How are you, sir? Would you like to share your name or stay anonymous?
I would like to stay anonymous.
Go ahead. What's your question to Prof?
Okay, I'm asking Prof this question that, maybe I'm reading the Constitution with a lady. Now, maybe I've had a number of them, but there's just this one that tastes different, and I want just her only. What could that be?
Is you want to what? Her only?
Maybe, with others, maybe it's normal, but when it reaches this one, I feel different.
So the question to Prof is why you're feeling different, or what's your question?
Yeah, it's why I'm feeling different on that one only. What happened there? What happened?
Prof asking?
What does different mean?
Maybe, I've interacted with a number of women, but there's just one of them that she's not the same with the others.
Okay, let's give Prof a chance. Prof, as you're answering that question, I'd like to add one on that so that there are two. Is it possible that sometimes when you interact or you get intimate with many people, you can end up getting confused? No, that's just a question. In addition to, you can, for both men and women, you can get confused in terms of feelings or what.
The difficulty with that question is that not any two people are the same. You can't say that it's different with one person. It's always different with every person. Okay,
it can never be the same.
Yeah, two people are not the same.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that's why I was trying to understand.
Different
He's saying
how?
Different how? Because, so does it mean all the others are the same?
Oh, I get that, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not possible also.
May not be possible. And again, I'm not here to judge people's values, but what is the end game? What is the mission?
Yeah.
Could it be that he's trying to say that, yes, maybe it is different, as you're saying, with every other person, but for one person, he felt it more special than the rest. Or the grades are high. If he was to give a report card, he could give the rest 6 and give that one 9. Maybe that's what he meant.
But my question is, what is the aim? What is he aiming for?
Okay.
When we talk about healthy sexuality, it should be fulfilling, it should be consensual, it should be devoid of disease.
Okay.
It should give you peace of mind. So there is always, it is pleasurable. So I'm trying to understand, when you're having a chain of sexual partners and you're comparing them, so that you're able to notice, oh, now I have one who is different. What is the end game? What is the plan? What are we trying to achieve here?
You need to call back and tell us this end game so the Prof is able to understand and answer that question.
Let me read a WhatsApp question.
Yes.
Hello, kindly ask Daktari this. I have been with a lady whom we plan to marry. though we do not stay together, but I no longer feel sexual attraction to her anymore. Every time we are together, what could be the issue? Kindly
Hold that,
advise.
Prof. Let me pick another two. Hello, Spice.
Hi.
Yes, dear.
It's back to the question. Sorry, I'm calling again, but
Yes, I actually expected your call because I need there'll be a follow-up on that.
I think the question I was asking Prof was, it does actually happen. By this I mean, I know the intimacy element is, let's move the physical intimacy to not bring confusion. So you have two different people.
Just hold on. So let me bring Prof up to speed. He's trying to figure out because he can't see my screen. Prof, this is the gentleman who was asking about, can you love two women? So that, yeah, okay.
Okay. So what I meant differently is one person satisfies certain emotional, as I said, let's remove the physical intimacy. That sort of brings confusion. They fulfill you differently. In other words, if you had met them one or the other, let's say hypothetically, let's call them Mary and Angela. If you had met Angela before Mary, you would have married either one of the two. Or a better analogy is, you can like, let's say, ice cream, strawberry and vanilla. You like them both for different reasons, completely, of course, because they taste differently. The question was, why does that happen? Now, you have to pick one. That's, I guess, is societal, but why do you end up might like two people?
Thank you for that. Prof, as you're answering that, there's someone once who lied to me. I don't know if they lied. They said, I wish I met you earlier. I would have married you. And imagine they were married.
That's what they like to say.
So
what
I'm trying
happened?
that one just died. Because I knew, okay, I'm trying to imagine what he was trying to say. If you met someone, because that's many a times I've had women and men tell each other that, I wish I met you earlier. I love my spouse or I love my girlfriend, but I also love you. And I'm wondering, how does that work?
So I think we need to recap the three levels, yeah?
Yes.
The levels of intimacy or sexual.
He was saying,
Yeah.
let's put the sexual intimacy aside because this Angela and Mary, that's the example we're using, fulfill different emotions or different needs, and none of it is sexual. Just for a moment, none of them are sexual. And he was bringing the aspect of love. I remember we said intimacy and love are two different things. Now he says he feels, is it possible that you could love the two women because they fulfill different needs?
So that's why I'm bringing the three levels of sexual intimacy.
Okay.
You can have friends which are nothing sexual.
Yes.
We are just friends and you feel different needs. There are people who give you money. There are people who
Make you laugh.
Or
Or a good company.
Good company. So I
The
think
others we pray together.
yeah. He's not talking about that.
Prayer partner.
He's talking
Yes.
about these two people he's having sex with. And he's feeling like he should maybe return both. He feels like one is giving something, another is giving
That
another.
the other one is not giving.
Yeah. And I think this is why it is important to talk about these levels of intimacy. There is a physical level, there is
Psychological.
a psychological, rational level, and there is really deep soul, spiritual level. He must be somewhere physical or bordering on rational, because he's rationalizing. He's able to think about it and see who is offering what. Maybe
So he's already open-minded and he's rationalizing the situation.
he's rationalizing.
So his is not mechanical.
Yeah,
or
maybe
physical.
he's gone slightly beyond that,
Yes.
but he hasn't gone to the level of soulmate
Okay.
and spiritual lover.
Okay.
And so he might lose both of them. Maybe he needs someone who will take him to that level of spiritual level.
Maybe a third person. I was just saying.
Well, maybe one on, because the moment he gets someone at that level, all these others will just drop off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because now they have not yet reached, all of them have not reached that part of soulmate. They could be lovers, you're saying, but they have not reached this spiritual level.
Yeah.
That's why you're rationalizing it.
So again, you're using the word lovers. They are
What do we call them?
Platonic.
they are partners.
Partners.
in
Partners.
crime.
But yes, I get you.
Yeah.
Now to this question, the person wants to say anonymous on Facebook.
Yeah, that they don't
I mean,
stay
on
together.
WhatsApp.
They're about to get married, but whenever he's around her, he doesn't have any feeling of sexual attraction.
It reminds me of a couple which was planning a wedding, and they had been engaging sexually.
Yeah.
And so at a certain point in this wedding plans, the lady just lost, she told me she lost the vibe. And I was trying to ask, what do you mean you lost the vibe?
She's not feeling the person.
Yeah, that, I'm just seeing him like
A brother.
a brother.
Hey, run.
Jesus Christ.
And she said, you know what, I'm cancelling the wedding.
Did she cancel the wedding?
Yeah.
Was
she
it
did.
right?
Yeah. Yes, it is, in my opinion. And
Was she
if, okay,
right?
that anonymous person, I also think they should cancel. These are
Well-
problems in the future.
Well,
Yeah.
they need to go for some level of...
Counseling or therapy, but if
Yeah.
someone is not feeling you right now and you're not yet married, or rather they have...
And there are 3 reasons why people stop feeling.
Yes.
Sometimes, again, it can be biological.
Yes.
I've met people who never felt sexual at all with their partners, and we checked hormones and they had an abnormal hormone somewhere,
Yeah.
killing their desire.
Where?
So they just felt nothing.
So going forward, you need to understand that if you get into this, she'll always feel nothing,
Yeah,
and
we
you'll
need-
not feel like
we
she
need
or
to-
he is reciprocating to you.
Yeah, we need to treat it, and that is treatable, correct? The hormone.
Yeah.
But then there is another problem.
Is there a case that cannot be treated? Because I think that some people are suffering from this thing, and they don't even know they are suffering from it.
Yeah. So the one that cannot be treated is a relationship that is, you're getting there, but you remember we said there may be no love.
Yes.
You're just there. Maybe
It's mechanical.
It's mechanical. You are
Yeah.
engaging at a mechanical level. You really have nothing exciting. You don't want to show love. That love of trying to make someone happy, to make them, you get fulfillment by
Yeah.
serving them and making them
Feel good.
Feel good, and they do the same to you. You are not at that level. It was just mechanical. Maybe the infatuation someone talked about,
Yes.
or what did you call it?
The lust.
The lust. And now the lust has ended, and you're feeling like it's empty. There is nothing for to do with it, and you're better off without it. Maybe that is the level where some of these people are. But one needs to undergo a bit of professional assessment
Okay.
before we conclude.
Both mental, not physical, and psychosocial.
The sexual medicine people do
Okay.
that. They
Okay.
take you through a journey to discover whether you're really in love or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Let's take a breather, then
Okay,
we can
cool.
come back with that. If you're just joining in, we are the adults in the room. We're talking to Professor Joachim, the Vice Chancellor of AMREF International University and Sexual Medicine Specialist. Today's conversation is intimacy and love. Is it the same thing? If you have a question or a query, plug in through our social media handles, SpiceFM KE, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The WhatsApp line is 01102 88162. And of course, the number to dial in 0719 012 600. We are the adults in the room.
You know one thing, eh?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm reflecting on this question about is it someone who...
The intimacy.
Yeah, someone who...
Intimacy and love, and this person is not, they've fallen out maybe of love, or they're not feeling the vibe of...
They're about to get married, and every
they have
time he's
lost-
with her, he just doesn't feel any sexual attraction
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very important to find out why. And as I said, there could be biological issues like hormones. There could be relationship issues. And sometimes just the environment around planning marriage and wedding and the stress and all this can make someone lose it.
Yeah.
True,
Yeah.
but Prof, sometimes what if
And-
I'm just not feeling it's ended? Because people have been test driving. Now you're tired, you've driven it. It's gone
nothing-
for service.
there's
it's
nothing else to
driven.
drive.
There's nothing else to drive. You're realizing this is what we are supposed to drive forever. Maybe that's why you're running away.
you also realize days are very different. Eh?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. That's true.
It could be on your birthday, and birthdays can last a few days.
Or even months.
Yeah. So time also has a way of...
So what are
Bringing
you
back-
advising this person?
So what I'm saying, the ideal situation is to get a professional assessment
Yes.
so that we arrive at the cause
Okay.
and we manage the cause. But be thinking about, is it just a bad day?
Or
You know
what's the environment like?
What is
Like,
the environment?
when-
Is it the stress
When
around?
did it start? When
When
did
did
I
it-
begin feeling this
Yeah,
way?
what
Okay.
happened?
Yeah.
Or is it that we have had a bad conflict
Season.
recently.
Or maybe I'm broke.
I'm yet to forgive.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, there are men who say when they're broke, they don't feel any.
Even me when I'm broke.
Yeah.
I'm in that category. I don't even.
Yeah.
Why, Jesus? Hello, Spice.
Hello.
So, would you like to stay anonymous or tell us your name?
I'd like to stay anonymous.
What is your question to Prof?
Okay, I'm asking this question. When I want to read the Constitution, I have to watch a video of people having the Constitution, or so for me to get active. So what could be the problem?
Okay, thank you for that. Thank because I already have an answer, but this question is for Prof.
Can you give your answer?
He's addicted
By
to
the
porn.
way, you know,
Yes?
we've been talking about comparing love and intimacy or sexual engagement without actually we defined love a bit,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
we're looking at we used a child and a mother
Yes.
as an example, and we
And
said,
washing
And you talked,
underwears.
go away. You talked about the unconditional love,
yeah,
the love
and
that you don't
expecting
put in
nothing back
anything.
and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
But we didn't really say. So when you're saying reading the Constitution and all this, what is it exactly? You know, I'm just trying to remember this guy who said people are following him after whatever he does. What is it? You know,
Maybe he has juju.
no, you know, this whole thing of sexuality is also complex
Some people think they're in love.
because it is not always just penetrative.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are different levels of intimacy.
True.
Sometimes it is just the emotional gelling, the imagination of people and things. Sometimes it goes physical, but it doesn't even reach that level of, intimate intercourse and so on.
Yes.
And then it can go all the way up to the end.
Yeah.
So in sexuality, we say all that is part of it. Where it starts and where it ends can be defined. So when someone says people are following them or they're having two, I'm not sure the level of intimacy also.
Maybe we need to have a subsequent conversation about the level, so maybe many of us can understand where we are, or we gauge ourselves from that.
And how they look like and
Yeah,
what they feel
on-
like. Yeah.
Let's talk about this addiction this young man has.
Yeah.
So this is
He's addicted to pornography, in my opinion. He cannot read the Constitution
Without.
before or without. He will not move forward without him looking at videos of people engaging in it, so that he gets aroused to engage in it. That's what he's asking.
I would have
Why?
wanted to ask if the ladies there that time.
We didn't get
I
that.
wanted
Yeah.
to know, because at what point does the lady appear in the picture, or he's watching it in a bathroom and then coming?
Yeah, there are people who do that. They do it privately. Then they
wait for her to come when she's on the way.
Yes, they
Yeah,
start.
that's Doro. When she says, Niko kwa stage.
They do it
Nakuja.
They start watching those things.
in preparation.
Yes, the way someone will prepare to shower, then they will prepare like that. I don't know why you're laughing, and this is someone's question.
Because Prof is looking at me like I'm supposed to give him the answer, and it's him. We're
No, he's
waiting
just-
for an answer from
He's
him.
shocked.
I'm
Bro,
trying to
time is
understand.
not on my side. You have a minute.
I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But anyway,
that's his preparation act.
pornography is common.
Is it unhealthy?
Is it unhealthy? Is it acceptable? Is it antisocial? Is it immoral? Those are very difficult questions. It depends on how one is cultured.
Okay.
But we know a number of people at one point or
Addicted.
another engage in pornography.
Yes.
Now, if it affects your relationship in an adverse way, then we say you need to treat it. You need to find a way of disengaging so that you make your relationship healthy, or slowing it down so that you make your relationship healthy.
So that continues, that he has to watch for him to perform. Is he needs to control that and look for solution to
needs
stop
to find
that. Yeah.
That to partner you know. But again, this is why I was asking, where's the lady? Or is it part of an engagement between the two of them? They are watching it together. Where? So
Would
there are
it
a
make
lot
a
of
difference
things.
if they were watching it together?
Possibly,
Okay.
You would think it is a thing they have to arouse themselves.
maybe.
But if it's something that you're doing alone, then it becomes a bit too dangerous. That's why you're saying you need to treat it.
Yeah, because if what if you travel, you're out or in a place where you can't watch, it means nothing then happens.
Like where the World Cup is. You can't watch.
Go away.
No, they've banned it.
Spice.